Hey students, Mark Ferrier. This video is going to go over discussion 2B rhetorical analysis draft. And this assignment is actually a peer review for the rhetorical analysis draft. So the purpose here is you want to just leave some discussion and you want to leave some peer review for your classmates to give them an opportunity to see how other people are viewing their writing so far. So I'm going to go over this part here. Make sure you look over the instructions for the rhetorical analysis essay. There's some additional instruction on working for peer review, but let's take a step forward here for a moment and see how we got here. So if you remember, as part of assignment 1, I'm just going to click on assignment 1 here, which came before this assignment 2B, right? So for assignment 1, what you were asked to do was, for assignment 1, you were asked to write a draft about 350 words and submit that draft now to 2B. So here in 2B, no one's posted yet here in this file, but here in 2B, everyone should have posted to the assignment here in 2B their draft. So in this draft, you'll see a long list of posts that are posts of people's drafts. So everyone posted their draft here to 2B. So now what you're going to do, including you, your draft is in here somewhere also. So what you're going to do is, now that as part of everyone posted their rhetorical essay, you're going to look through and review your classmates' work. All right, so what you need to do first, though, is you need to sort this thread by oldest first. So you're going to come down here to this thread, and you're going to hit old. So make sure you select oldest thread so that you sort the thread by the oldest. And then what you're going to do is, the people you're going to reply to and leave a peer review for is the person who posted before and after you. So you're going to go down here, find the oldest thread, find the sort by oldest thread, find your post and look who posted before and after you, and that's the person that you're going to need to reply to. All right, so if you're the first person, let me see if I leave a note there. No, if you're the first person or the last person, you can do the person after you, right? And then either the very first post or the very last post, depending on which one you are not. But that's essentially what you want to do. So the idea is to give everyone about the same number of peer reviews. Okay, so once you've posted or responded to once you've chosen the person above and below you, what you want to do is go back and look at the rhetorical analysis essay assignment, and in there is a peer review section that tells you how to do the peer review. So note, there are 5 areas that you need to review for each of your for the 2 classmates. All right, so for each person, you need to look at your perspective, the content, organization, MLA, and grammar. Okay, so under rhetorical analysis essay, if you click on this, this brings us to the instructions for the rhetorical analysis essay assignment. All right, so this tells you how to do the rhetorical analysis essay. Notice here there's a link for peer review. I'm just going to scroll down. This should all be familiar. You should have already read this in order to figure out how to write your first draft that you posted to 2B. Now you're going to scroll down. Oh, I passed it. Now you're going to scroll down to the peer review section. And you can see here are those sections: your perspective, content, organization. For your review, you need to read someone else's draft and you need to comment on your perspective. You need to comment on the content, organization, and so on. So let's say you're reviewing Jane Smith. You're going to look through Jane Smith and say, what did you like? And the key thing here is explain. I will be grading you on this explanation, not just, oh, I liked it, it was great, and then move on. You need to do the explanation portion. Why was it good? Why did it meet your standard for good? Or not necessarily good, but for high quality or good quality. Where did you notice your classmate using what they are learning in class? How? Right? Make sure you explain here. Right? Constructive suggestions is what you want to think about here. Where were you persuaded? In what way? So these are all things you can respond or reply to for the first part of your review. For the next part of your review of your classmates, you're going to look at the content. You're going to start answering some of these questions. Do they come across as credible? How are they using pathos? Do any areas go off on tangents? So these are things you're going to comment on for content. And then so on, right? You're going to comment on the organization MLA style. So one thing that you can do for your replies, I'm just going to copy this right here. When you go in and you find the other post and you hit reply, so I'm starting a new thread, you'll actually be replying to someone's thread. But when you reply to someone, what you can do is you can just copy, where'd it go? You can just, if I'm here in the instructions where it says note there are 5 areas, you can just copy these 5 areas. All right, I'm just going to paste them in here, and they start with your perspective. And then I'm going to come and just make each of these their own line. And now I know what the 5 areas are. And again, you can start in a Google Doc. That might be a little easier for you. Doesn't matter. And then here, so here you can see, let me make this a little bit bigger. So these are the 5 areas I'm going to reply to. So let's say this was Jane Doe's. I'm going to now reply with my perspective. I'm going to now reply to, right, here's what I think, great. So yeah, to content, then I'm going to apply to, or reply to organization. Sorry, I'm going to respond to organization. I'm going to respond to MLA style, grammar, and so on. So these are the 5 areas that each review needs to have where you need to comment. And the key thing here, I can't stress this enough, right, is that explanation portion. When you are looking through here, you must explain in your peer reviews, all right, why something is what you're saying it is. So make sure you're very clear on that. And this gives the person an idea of where you're coming from. Okay, so that's what you're going to do for the peer review. You're going to reply to 2 people and comment on these 5 parts for each peer review. One of the things it mentions up here, you do want to go through, look through those instructions again for the rhetorical analysis essay. And then if you need some extra help, here's a link to Working with Peers. You can look through this. This gives you some useful ideas on how to think about and posture yourself for peer review. All right, so that's the Working with Peers link. And that's pretty much it for this peer review rhetorical analysis draft assignment. If you have questions about this or anything else, let me know.